We do not come into this world, we come out of it as leaves from a tree. This profound statement, uttered by Alan Watts, serves as a gateway into the fascinating synergy between Eastern philosophy and the wisdom of the Bible. Today, we are embarking on a journey to explore this rich and textured tapestry of thought. Alan Watts, a British philosopher, writer, and speaker, was a luminary who illuminated the path between Eastern and Western thought. His teachings resonate deeply, drawing upon the shared universal themes of interconnectedness, impermanence, and the nature of self. As we move forward, we shall delve into the heart of these philosophies, shedding light on their shared wisdom and unique perspectives. From the profound teachings of Buddhism to the timeless wisdom of the Bible, we'll explore how they echo each other, revealing a harmonious symphony of understanding. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll discover how these two seemingly contrasting philosophies can actually complement each other beautifully. Alan Watts, a British philosopher, writer, and speaker, played a crucial role in popularizing Eastern philosophy in the West. His teachings, brimming with profound insights, were not just about understanding the world, but about experiencing it in its raw, unfiltered form. Watts often spoke about the interconnectedness of all things, an idea deeply rooted in Eastern philosophy. He suggested that we are not separate entities in an indifferent universe, but integral parts of a vibrant living whole. Watts portrayed the universe as a magnificent tapestry, with each thread signifying an individual life, intricately woven into the grand design. He beautifully encapsulated this concept in his quote, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." Another key concept Watts touched upon was impermanence, an unavoidable reality of life. He encouraged us to embrace change, to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. According to Watts, understanding the impermanent nature of things can liberate us from the fear of loss and the obsession with permanence. Watts also delved into the nature of the self, challenging our conventional understanding of identity. He proposed that our true self is not confined to the boundaries of our body or the span of our life. Instead, our existence is a continuous process, interwoven with the universe's unending dance. He described it as a wave in the ocean of existence. Through his profound wisdom, Watts opened the door to a new understanding of the universe and our place within it. He invited us to view ourselves not as strangers in a foreign land, but as integral parts of the cosmic journey. In doing so, he not only bridged the gap between East and West, but also between us and the universe we inhabit. Turning our attention to the Bible, we find that it too echoes many of these Eastern concepts. The Bible, a cornerstone of Western spirituality, is brimming with themes that resonate with the wisdom of the East. It's a book that speaks volumes about the spiritual and mystical aspects of existence, often in ways that harmonize with Watts's Eastern-inspired ideas. Consider the interconnectedness of all things, a central tenet of Eastern thought. We see this same idea reflected in the biblical verse from Acts 17:28, where it says, "In him we live and move and have our being." Here, the Bible suggests that we are not separate entities, but rather part of a divine whole, just as Watts often emphasized. The Bible also mirrors Eastern philosophy's emphasis on the impermanence of life. In Ecclesiastes 3:1 it says, "To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven." This verse underscores the transient nature of life, encouraging us to embrace change as an inherent part of existence, much like Watts advised when he said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." As for the nature of the self, the Bible offers insights that align with Watts's teachings. In Corinthians 3:16 it is written, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" This passage echoes the Eastern concept of the divine self, hinting at the idea that we are not merely human beings having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a human experience, a notion Watts often explored. These biblical teachings, when viewed through the lens of Eastern philosophy, take on new depth and meaning. They remind us that despite cultural and geographical differences, wisdom is universal, and truth can be found in the most unexpected places. Just like leaves on a tree, we are all connected, part of a larger whole that is constantly evolving, changing, and dancing to the rhythm of existence. What happens when we bring together the wisdom of the East and the West? We find a holistic understanding of existence that transcends cultural boundaries. This is where the teachings of Alan Watts come to play, as he harmoniously merges the Eastern philosophy with the wisdom found in the Bible. Imagine a bridge, one side anchored in the ancient wisdom of the East, the other firmly rooted in the timeless teachings of the Bible. As we journey across, we see that the landscape of wisdom on both sides is strikingly similar. Both Eastern philosophy and biblical teachings emphasize the interconnectedness of all things. They encourage us to see ourselves not as separate entities, but as part of a greater whole. In the words of Alan Watts, "You are an aperture through which the universe is looking at and exploring itself." This echoes the biblical verse from Acts, "In him we live and move and have our being." Each tradition also emphasizes the importance of living in the present moment. Eastern philosophy encourages us to join the dance of change, to embrace the impermanence of life. Similarly, the Bible teaches us to be still and to find peace in the present moment. Furthermore, both traditions highlight the concept of mindfulness. Mindfulness, as taught by Eastern philosophy, is about being fully present and engaged in whatever we're doing at the moment. It's about paying attention to our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. The Bible, too, encourages mindfulness through various passages, urging us to be still and know. So what's the takeaway from this fusion of wisdom? It's that despite our cultural differences, our spiritual journeys share common themes. By embracing these shared teachings, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the universe. This synergy of wisdom offers us a unique perspective, one that can greatly enrich our lives. Whether we're standing on the mountaintops of the East or navigating the waters of the West, we're all part of the same dance, the same cosmic journey. And that's a beautiful thing to remember. How can we apply this wisdom to our daily lives? Let's explore some mindfulness practices inspired by both Eastern and biblical teachings. Mindfulness, in its simplest form, is about being present, being here in this moment, fully engaged with whatever we're doing. It's about letting go of the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future. It's about embracing the now. Alan Watts often spoke of the present moment as the only reality we have. The Bible, too, emphasizes the importance of the present moment. In the book of Matthew, Jesus encourages us not to worry about tomorrow, for today has enough troubles of its own. But how do we become more present? One way is through the practice of stillness. The Bible tells us, "Be still and know that I am God." This invitation to stillness is echoed in Eastern philosophies, where meditation is a key practice. This doesn't have to be complex. It might be as simple as taking a few moments each day to sit quietly, focusing on your breath, and letting your thoughts flow without judgment. Another practice is mindful breathing. In Buddhist teachings, the breath is seen as a bridge between the body and the mind. By focusing on our breath, we can bring ourselves back to the present moment. This practice is also reflected in the biblical tradition, where the breath of life is often associated with the divine spirit. Embracing the power of now and releasing attachments can lead to peace amid life's changes. As Watts said, "The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance." This echoes the biblical wisdom found in Ecclesiastes, which reminds us that there is a time for everything under the sun. By integrating these practices into our lives, we can begin to cultivate a deeper sense of peace and understanding. Life is a dance, and mindfulness is the music that guides our steps. So let's dance. Today we've explored how the Eastern philosophy of Alan Watts beautifully intersects with the timeless wisdom of the Bible. We've delved into the key concepts of interconnectedness, impermanence, and the nature of self, which are fundamental to both philosophies. We've seen how these ideas resonate in the teachings of the Bible, particularly in verses that echo the idea of God being in all things and the interconnectedness of humanity. We've also discussed the importance of mindfulness and living in the present moment, themes that both Eastern philosophy and biblical teachings underscore. We've seen how embracing these principles can bring peace and understanding amid life's changes. To conclude, remember this profound quote from Alan Watts: You are a function of what the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is a function of what the whole ocean is doing. Remember this as you navigate your own journey through life. Thank you for joining us on this exploration, and we invite you to share your thoughts, subscribe for more, and integrate these wisdom nuggets into your lives.